Hello and welcome back to True Crime Guys podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and you know Andy's here.
Oh, Michael, I am here today.
You are here.
It's cool in here today.
Dude, what's going on? August is like drunk or something. Go home, August.
Fall's like, is it time for us yet? Is it time?
No.
No, it's not.
It's fake fall.
I know.
Everybody knows it's fake fall. I hate these.
Second summer's right around the corner, baby.
It's right around the corner. We'll be right back in the 90s. But at least we got plenty of stuff to keep you cool around here at True Crime Guys. Ain't that right?
We do.
Speaking of cool stuff, we made a vinyl. We have an album. It's available at truecrimeguys.com. You guys can check it out. Truths and Tragedies in a 12-inch vinyl form. I jam-packed it. I put all the songs I could put on there. And I still had to leave 4 off.
Yeah.
So if you listen to Truths and Tragedies on Spotify, you'll notice it has 4 more songs. But, you know, what are you going to do?
Bonus tracks.
Bonus tracks. That's right.
For the digital edition.
Which nobody likes. And I give away.
Right.
Actually, I pay to do it. Yeah,
so.
That's what artists do now. But anyways, guys, before we get into this, oh my God, this case, I don't even know why I picked it. You know, Thina sent me this case of baby DeOrr Kunz here, and she warned me, Andy. She did. She warned me. She said, this case is crazy. You might want to take some time with it. You know, It's going to be a deep dive. It's going to be a lot of discussion. I said, bet, I'm doing it tomorrow.
Right.
And I went on like a 5-hour rabbit hole dive this morning with like 3 cups of coffee.
Right? That's the best way to do it.
So I'm ready. I'm totally ready to record. But before that, guys, I got to tell you that patreon.com exists. Did you know that? /True Crime Guys. Patreon.com/True Crime Guys. Where you can get access to these episodes, these free episodes early, ad-free, with some bonus content. I think me and Andy talked for about 20-something minutes before we started today. I kind of forgot we were on the mics. I hope I didn't say nothing crazy.
No, a little reconnecting there.
Okay, good. But yes, that's patreon.com/True Crime Guys, where you can hear everything we have ever created here at True Crime Guys, and we've been at it for a minute. Next year will be 10 years.
Yes, it will be.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane. So guys, please check that out. Again, that's patreon.com/True Crime Guys, where you can hear all of the bonus content. Also, here on the free platforms, you can hear our other shows like Strange and Unexplained and Sandu Stories, as well as Cryptic Soup with Thina and Kylie. Even though Thina and Kylie are no longer making new episodes, there's still an amazing back catalog of episodes to listen to, including one on Baby DeOrr here. But like I said, Thina gave me this case, and she said, you got to cover this. It's popping back up, and it is. It's kind of crazy. It's a 10-year cold case, but it is still open.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it's still open, and some big things are happening, which we'll be talking about at the end of the episode. So we got a pretty cool update, because a lot of the videos online, you know, if you look at them, some of them are close to 9-10 years old. Some of them, the newer ones, are 3, but recently, they've been putting up videos. Idaho News has been putting up videos as recent as like 3 weeks.
Really?
Updates on this.
Yeah.
So this is pretty current. So I'm pretty excited about this. We might be onto something with this case. It might not be cold for too much longer.
Hopefully
I just don't
not.
think it can be.
No, not so. I don't think so either.
I know. But guys, I'm chomping at the bit. So let's get into it. Andy, let's roll that intro.
The mystery around what happened to him drew intense scrutiny, captivated the nation, and has left his family living a nightmare for 10 years.
They have 3 theories about what happened. DeOrr was taken by a stranger, there was foul play involving people he was camping with, or nature took him, meaning he walked off or an animal got to him. And not a trace of baby DeOrr was found at the campground. It's still the same from day 1 to now. The fact remains the same. Baby DeOrr is still missing, and there has been 0 evidence of how at this time.
All right. So today we're talking about the disappearance of baby DeOrr, or DeOrr Kunz Jr., or Little Man, or Goobs.
Goobs.
There's a few good nicknames. Goobs. I actually do kind of like that name. That one, you gotta be careful. That one will stick.
That's an unfortunate one that will stick.
That one will stick. But some consider this case a disappearance. It's definitely a disappearance. You can't argue with that.
Yeah, no body.
He
no
has
crime.
disappeared, and we don't know where he is. Some consider this a missing 411. Some people consider it a murder. But you're about to understand this confusion. And of course, like I said earlier, this case is still unsolved, and it does involve a child. I wouldn't necessarily say violence towards children because we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Speculation.
Violence towards children is speculated.
Yeah. Lots
There
of
we
things
go.
are everything else, and so far, a lot of the things in this case are speculation. So
Yes. So let's get into it, Andy. Little DeOrr Kunz Jr. was 2 years old when he went missing on July 10th, 2015. His father was Vernal DeOrr Kunz. We'll call him Vernal for this episode, okay? We're not doing two DeOrrs. We're not
No,
doing all
why
this.
not?
Also, DeOrr. What the heck kind of name is that?
I mean, it's kind of cool.
Also, Vernal?
That's
Also,
listen,
Kunz? This guy's whole name is weird.
again, probably not. The
I like it,
traditional
though.
around here,
I
but
like it.
I like DeOrr.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I like original names, that especially if they're easy to pronounce.
Right.
Bonus.
Bonus.
But Vernal and Jessica Mitchell, both, which is little DeOrr's mother, both lived in Idaho Falls, Idaho. They were high school sweethearts, but they didn't get together in high school. They actually both got married, had other marriages, and kind of ended up back together.
Yeah, happens
Yeah.
to a lot of people.
Yeah, they reconnected later on and got engaged pretty quickly, and they were expecting their own child together in 2012. Now, at this point, from the previous marriage, Jessica had 2 children, but Vernal didn't have any kids at the time. So Jessica's first 2 children lived with their biological father, allegedly because he was more financially stable, not because Jessica didn't want them. She wants that to be very clear.
Okay.
For obvious reasons, her child disappeared, right?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
But, well, you can see how you don't want that getting out there.
Don't want that to be your vibe.
And I'm not saying that either. We have no reason to believe that Jessica didn't want these kids.
Okay.
All right? Now, their first child together, baby DeOrr, ended up being born on December 30th, 2012. To his family, he was called Little Man. He was vivacious, independent, fun-loving, and curious. He loved playing with toy cars like Hot Wheels, Matchbox, stuff like that, and of course, semi-trucks, because old Daddy Vernal was a trucker and would often get him toy trucks to play with.
Okay.
As
yeah.
trucker dads typically do.
Very yeah.
Here, get you a good Freightliner, son, and that's a good toy.
Right.
But, okay, so going forward, I'm going to call DeOrr either Baby DeOrr or DeOrr, but if I say DeOrr, I'm referring to the baby.
Yep.
Okay, and Vernal will be old daddy. All right, and we got somebody else that we got to add to the party, and that's Grandpa. Grandpa Bob. That's right. Grandpa Bob, okay, is actually Jessica's grandfather.
Right. Okay.
Okay? That would make him Baby DeOrr's great-grandfather.
Like I said, I think I told you this before. Nobody, I heard a comedian say this the other day, or one time me and Megan saw him. No one's ever born a Bob. That guy's, I'm sure that guy's real name is Robert. But
It is.
No one's born a Bob.
Robert Walton.
You got to become a Bob one day. Bob's a lifestyle.
That's right. That's a true story. It's a true story. Now, Bob, he wanted to take a family camping trip, and he wanted to go on July 10th, 2015. He was very specific, apparently, about this trip. Now, the original plan for the trip began on Thursday with Jessica, Vernal, DeOrr, Robert Walton, and his Grandpa Bob, and his friend Isaac Reinwand, who is approximately 25 to 35 years old, and he's described by many as simple.
All right.
Okay.
So he's the grandfather's friend?
Yes.
All right. So this is an older man who's friends with like a 25-year-old, like a 30-year-old?
It would seem so.
Yeah. All right.
It would seem so. So this is the crew that's going to the campsite, okay? So the camping trip was going to take place at Stone Reservoir at Timber Creek Campground. Now this campground is extremely remote. It's a long way off a normal path, and the campsite is located in Lemhi County, Idaho. I think I'm saying that. Lemhi? I don't know. I'd say it's Lemhi because they got that H in there.
I'm sure it is Lemhi, but I like Lemhi County.
I like Lemhi County. But that's in Idaho. With Salmon Chalice National Park and Forest. That's where this campsite is located. Now, this national park and forest is 4,235,940 acres, Andy.
It's quite the plot of land there. It's like a Yellowstone ranch right there.
It is massive. And also known as 6,600 square miles. And it's one of the largest national forests in the lower 48.
Okay. Pretty big plot of land there.
That's right. So when they get to their little campsite, they decide to set up 2 camps. Okay, one for the couple and their son, and the other for Grandpa Bob and Isaac.
Okay. My first joke in my head was like one for the couple and then one for the family and their child. It's just...
You missed it, Andy.
I know.
Still funny. Now, where their campsite is about 45-minute drive to the nearest town, okay? That's important. The nearest town is DeOrr, Idaho. DeOrr is a very small town, Andy. I mean like 100 people.
Good Lord, that's not even like a fucking school class.
Dude, that's too small for me.
That's
I like small town living, but that's too small for me. I don't want everybody in my town to know who I am.
That's everybody in your town is roughly related. That is when you go to school in your town.
Yeah.
You go to store. Like that's
Right.
there's
Like-
nothing like
Like if everything you do has DeOrr in front of it, you know what I mean? Like you go
Right.
to DeOrr Baptist Church. You
Yeah.
go to DeOrr Middle School.
DeOrr
You go
Pharmacy.
to
DeOrr.
Farm. The DeOrr General Store. That's what you're looking for. Yeah. Yeah, that's too small for me.
That's too small for that's a town too small for even a Dollar General to set up shop in.
Exactly. Now, so just to show you how remote their campsite was too, the closest campsite to them would be about a half-mile away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, in dense forest, not a lot of visibility, but depends on how much, visibility between those two campsites. Half mile's not too far away.
Therefore,
but
like it's Idaho forest, right? So they're not. They at least to me, they don't seem as dense here as here on the East Coast.
maybe.
Not like East because they don't have all that underbrush.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have a lot of that around here.
Yes,
Some vines.
a lot of underbrush. Like untended to forest will get so thick that it's difficult to walk through. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the family sets up camp late in the evening of July 9th, 2015, and everyone goes to bed. Now, on July 10th, they wake up, and everything from here on is based on stories.
On multiple
On
stories.
he said, she said bullshit, Andy. That's what it is. So it's going to get a little messy because everybody's got a different story. But I'm going to try to bring you like the most basic idea of what happened, and then we'll kind of go back through the written things, the written statements from each of them, and be like, oh no, well that's different. That's different.
Okay.
It'll be fun, Andy.
Right.
Try to pay attention. Find the differences.
It's like a highlights magazine.
Exactly. So, Jessica and Vernal say that they took DeOrr to a general store for snacks in the nearby town after breakfast. When they returned, they decided they wanted to go fishing, and they ended up leaving baby DeOrr at the campsite. According to Jessica, she told her grandfather Grandpa Bob, who was sitting in a camp chair to watch DeOrr. Bob claims he didn't hear any of this shit.
Also, very plausible.
I mean,
It's
plausible.
old-
He's sitting there. He's not very mobile. He's on oxygen.
Yeah.
Okay, he falls asleep a lot.
This is Bob. Like I said,
Okay.
Bob's a lifestyle. Bob is on a fishing trip right now. He brought you guys along.
Nobody's
right?
more laid back than Bob, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you right now, Bob is on his vacation.
Right? So the couple started to walk away, and when they turned around, they saw little DeOrr following them. So Vernal said, do you want to come with us, or do you want to stay with Grandpa? And DeOrr eventually went back to Grandpa Bob. That's the parents' story, okay? So they go on down the hill, go fishing. Around 2:40, Vernal said they got about 50 yards from the campsite and had been fishing for about 30 minutes to an hour when they found another lake area that had some minnows swimming around in it that you could see up close to the bank. And Vernal thought, well, let me go get DeOrr. He'll love this, right? So Vernal goes back to the camp to get baby DeOrr while Jessica stays back and continues fishing. Well, while at the campsite, she hears Vernal yelling. And somewhere mixed up in the yelling, she hears something like, we can't find little man, he's gone.
Okay, yeah. You're gonna start panicking now.
So Jessica drops that damn fishing pole and runs back to the campsite hysterical. Vernal and Bob start to disagree about where little man could have been because Bob thinks or thought he was with Vernal, and Vernal was like, no, he was with you, right? So Jessica, in a panic, first calls her mom.
Okay, I can understand this is a thing sometimes
Calls her
people
mom,
do.
but her mom is coming to the campsite,
Yeah.
allegedly. So maybe she's like, hey, be looking on your way in or whatever. But she calls her mom, Trina. Trina says that Jessica was hysterical and extremely hard to understand, mainly because they were in a very remote place and didn't
Okay.
have very good signal, okay? But she did hear, we lost little man, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So Trina screams back at her. She's like, you need to call 911.
Yeah, why are you calling me?
Why are you calling me? So
I hope I was the second call you made.
No, she wasn't. But after that, Jessica decides, okay, yeah, maybe it is time to call 911, right? So she explains she's camping and that her 2-year-old son is missing. She says her son has been missing for an hour. She says that they are near a body of water because the operator asks. Jessica says he was wearing boots. She says cowboy boots, I believe. But the one thing about the boots is they were too big for him. Everybody said that. Everybody was like, he could barely walk in these boots.
Yeah.
I mean, he could barely walk. He's 2 anyways.
Yeah, but
he walks okay. But
he
you know
wanted to be wearing these boots.
Yeah, he wanted these boots, man. He wants, you know how it is. You're a kid, you get these little boots. You want to grow into these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he had, aside from those boots, he had a camo print hoodie jacket that he was wearing and a blue pair of pajama sweatpants. Now, the operator repeatedly told Jessica that she needed to stay within cell service because the call kept dropping in and out. Now, around this same time, Vernal drove towards town in his truck to get a better signal to make a call as well, just in case Jessica's call didn't go through.
Makes sense. I can see this as a story so far.
Okay. So, within 2 hours of DeOrr going missing and the 911 call, the Lemhi County police officers arrive. Originally, the officers thought that they would find DeOrr quickly because he was just a child that probably walked away, you know. Well, he was unattended for a few minutes. You know how 2-year-olds are. They can get away.
Yeah, chasing a butterfly, saw a squirrel, just wandered off, saw a flower, got distracted.
Now, the only concern that did worry police a little was the reservoir. Because if he got lost and fell or got caught in the lake, that's a much bigger issue, as you could imagine. So immediately everyone started showing up to search. Trina, Jessica's mother, she drove up the next morning, and there were already a ton of volunteers there helping with the search.
I mean, a ton. There's 105 people in this town at most.
Dude, no, people were coming in, like police forces, search and rescue.
Okay.
Within 2 hours, they were scouring this entire park, dude.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you only got a town of 105 people, I feel like you could have just literally sent out like a group text.
And look, over the next 2 days, over 200 volunteers joined in the search. That's just the volunteers. That's not the police. That's not the police, search and rescue, or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But no one could find DeOrr. There was no trace of him, which was odd because, you know, you thought like there would be a shoe, a sock, something, man.
Yeah,
something.
Some trace.
A Hot Wheel car.
Of a toddler wandering off.
Exactly. He's 2 years old. So this led to a few possibilities, Andy, which we will discuss throughout the rest of this podcast. But number one, let's just label them like this, right? Number one, an animal could have gotten DeOrr, correct?
A fucking, yeah, what? A cougar? What kind of came out there and just
took
no trace of it?
They had lynx, grizzly bears, wolves, and other predators.
Still, if one of those animals, one of those large predators came and took this child, you're hearing that in that 30 minutes to an hour that you guys...
He's 2. He's going to be screaming bloody murder.
And there's going to be a fucking sign that a bear or a wolf got him. There's going to be signs of these things around.
One would think.
Yeah. Because a bear or a wolf, those aren't animals that like pick up their prey and take them back to a den somewhere to eat them.
Right.
Like they fucking kill it and eat it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't see, like, it's just one of those things. So it's like, what kind of animal? Fucking giant hawk? What took him? Fucking condor?
Exactly. Don't add up. That's why I put it number one.
Right.
Let's just dismiss it. Get it out of here. Number 2, abduction. Okay. Did someone come in and grab and take him? Well, let's think about that. Very freaking small window.
Yeah, for real.
Super small window. Really. I mean, they said they were fishing for 20 to 30 minutes before they went back.
They said 30 minutes to an hour, maybe. I thought you said 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
And then they decided to go. That's when he was like, I'm going to go back and get DeOrr.
Yeah.
So,
well, there's a lot of discrepancies there. We'll talk about that as we go. But number 3, in the police's eyes, this is the least possible. But did his family have something to do with it?
I mean, if there's no indication of anybody else being there at the time, or any other signs of a vehicle or anybody on foot or anything, I mean, a lot of
Or was it someone who was there that's not family?
I mean, there is old Simple Isaac out there.
Isaac, that's right. So let's go on, shall we? So with them thinking that an animal would be the culprit, they searched dens, animal dens. They looked for remains, blood trails, and like as we talked earlier, there was nothing. There was no clothes, no blood, no bones, nothing. Mm-hmm. Now, yes, they found bones during the search, but they all turned up to be animal bones.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah.
Unless this 2-year-old was picked up by a giant fucking eagle and taken to a fucking mountain nest somewhere.
Yeah. Because they searched a 5-mile diameter of the park. So, yeah. So they then started looking into abductions, and they ruled that out because there's only one road leading in and out of the campsite. And Bob claimed that he was outside in one of the chairs with DeOrr, and he only lost sight of him for about 1 minute. Oh, so I thought you weren't supposed to be watching DeOrr, Bob.
Okay, Bob.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't know about DeOrr, Bob. But, okay, now you're saying you only lost sight of him for 1 minute.
Either way, 1 minute. If you're at a campsite, 1 minute, you're not losing a 2-year-old in a campsite.
Yeah. So he's saying 1 minute is not enough time for someone to drive in, get him, drive out.
Yeah, and I'm also saying 1 minute is not enough time to lose a 2-year-old at a remote campsite.
I agree.
Like, it's not a crowd.
How far could he go, right?
Yeah, he can't go
it's 1 minute.
far. So, like, how far could he have gotten in a minute? This is a 2-year-old in boots that are too big. He can't run. He's not like he's fucking just taking off into the distance.
Yeah, Andy. So the police were kind of thinking the same thing we're kind of alluding to here, is that there can only be one solution, right? Family involvement, or the involvement of those that were on the camping trip. So they get written statements from everyone. This is a great way to narrow it down, right? We'll just ask everyone what happened, and then we'll just find any discrepancies, except for it was all discrepancies.
Right, okay.
Yeah, they only found discrepancies. So let's get into it. Let's look at Jessica's first, since she wrote a 14-page statement, which I do not have in the timeline. Don't be crazy, Andy. I would never do that to you. But Jessica had a 14-page written statement starting on the morning of July 9th. Jessica and Vernal, they woke up to someone knocking on the door, and the dog barked. So this is the day they left.
Right.
Okay. The person at the door was Robert, and he was asking if they would join him on the camping trip and help him plan and park. So Jessica and Little Man drove to her parents' house, and after making a list with Robert about what would be needed for the trip, her and Little Man drove to Albertsons, which is a grocery store, on 17th Street to get groceries. Now, afterwards, they put the groceries away in the camper, they put some in Robert's Chevy Suburban, which will also be going on the trip. And they also loaded all the coolers. Then, Little Man and Jessica went to Smith's and Maverick Smith's, another grocery store. I guess she forgot some groceries, to get a few more supplies like ice, smokes, and stuff like that. Then they unloaded the stuff once again. Jessica then said that she was going home to wait for Vernal to get off work, and she agreed to meet back at her parents' house that night to leave. Okay, so in short, Jessica says she went over in the middle of the day, helped them gather everything, pack everything, so they'd be ready to go when Vernal got home.
Right.
It's very stupid and detailed, but this is just how her report is.
Yeah, she gives a detailed report.
Yes. So once Vernal arrived back at the house, they packed up their vehicle and headed out. Vernal helped attach the trailer to Robert's Suburban, and they headed to Isaac's to pick him up. Isaac had packed a black trunk, and that's all he had, and they were ready. Isaac and Robert were in the Suburban, and Jessica, Vernal, and Little Man were in Vernal's truck. Now, upon arriving, Jessica set up everyone's beds, and they set up the campsites. Isaac and Robert went to bed. Jessica, Vernal, and baby DeOrr stayed up around the fire until they were tired. So, the next morning, Friday morning, Jessica, DeOrr, and Little Man get woken up by Isaac, throwing open the door of the camper and shouting, "Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey." Everyone talked about breakfast, while Jessica decided to make breakfast. Now, this is all Jessica's thing still, okay? We're still on this.
I do love that apparently Isaac it says, "Wake up, it's breakfast time, wake up, eggs and bakey." Are you going to make breakfast? She's like, literally looks, I was like, "Is there breakfast?" "Well, no, I thought you were going to make breakfast. That's why I'm telling you."
We don't know who made breakfast either. Another discrepancy. We'll get into it. But after breakfast, Jessica noticed she started her period and did not have anything with her. So she told Vernal that he was going to have to go back into town to get her some stuff ASAP. Robert gave Jessica $50 and told her since they were going into town, get what you need and also grab him some candy. And he told them to be back by 1 p.m. because he wanted to go fishing. Okay. So Vernal, Little Man, and Jessica went into town. While driving there, Vernal said he first needed to stop at a gas station because he wanted to fill the truck with more diesel because it was a new truck to him.
Yeah.
Okay, not a new truck, but it was a new truck to him, and he was he was kind of nervous that the fuel gauge might not work. And he just drove 2.5 hours. I think he would probably have good reason. That fuel gauge might not work. If you drove 2.5 hours and you're like, this shit didn't move.
On a diesel truck? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not getting great gas mileage, all right?
No. And you're pulling a trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But so, yeah, he was nervous that it didn't work. And so he just wanted to be safe. He's just like, let's just top it off.
Yeah.
Right? So when they got into DeOrr, which is that local town, they stopped at the Stage Stop gas station where at the gas station, they told Vernal that he could go a few buildings down to get diesel. But while attempting to get the diesel, they told him he had to go across the street at the hotel to pay for it.
This is a hell of this is a weird, small
It is
town.
weird. It is
like
weird.
this is one guy at the same building going
Yeah,
back
he's
and forth
running around.
with a different outfit on. He comes up with a vest on. He's like, oh, yeah, you want to get some diesel? Well, you got to go 2 doors down now to Mr. Johnson's to get the diesel. And as soon as he pulls out, the guy runs downstairs, runs under a fucking tunnel, runs across the street, gets up, the guy pulls up with a different shirt on. He's just like, howdy, partner.
Throws on some coveralls.
Oh, you want diesel? Absolutely. Go out there and pump that diesel. Oh, you want to pay for the diesel? Well, the register is actually across the street in Mr. Smith's hotel.
Exactly.
Same thing. Just runs over there all sweaty, fucking mustache.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, it's something like that's going down. But once again, Andy, when he tried to go buy some diesel, they told him the pumps were broken.
You got to go all the way down to
no joke. This is like the beginning of a horror movie, isn't it? This is like the beginning of like House of Wax or something. Like y'all are trapped
to that, or it's the start of like a Monty Python movie at the same time. Like I said, it's a Monty Python character running back and forth.
Oh yeah. Well, either way, they ended up having to go on the other side of town to Peterson Welding to get some diesel.
The other side of town means around the block.
Yeah, around the block. To go behind the original gas station. No, but after finally making it there, paying and all that, they went back to the Stage Stop, the first place they stopped, okay? Because they still needed the tampons and the candy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was the whole reason for the trip. But they also got some potato wedges, Jessica said. And she said while waiting for the potato wedges, there was a creepy man near the counter and he was staring at little DeOrr the whole time, and it made her feel a little uneasy.
Again, this is a very small town in the one gas station. That's probably Ralph. He lives around the corner and he's there all day.
And they don't have any kids here.
Right? That's just, he's Ralph. He cleans the bathrooms because Joanne doesn't want to.
Exactly. So, speaking of the bathroom, Jessica then went to the bathroom, came back, and she personally put little man in the car seat. This is her story. While Vernon was on the phone, okay? Jessica fed him some Swedish fish, some Krispy Kreme donuts, and potato wedges.
Fucking breakfast of champions there, kid.
That's just endangerment to your child right there.
You a frat boy?
What the hell? But they then went back to the campground, okay? Now, by the time they got back, Robert was upset because he said they were late. It's 10 after, okay? I've been wanting to fish for a whole 10 minutes. How dare you guys?
Obviously, I don't have much time left. Do you see this fucking oxygen tank I'm sitting out here with? I said 1 o'clock, all right?
Yep. So Jessica got little man out of the car while Vernal and Robert went ahead and started getting the stuff ready for fishing. But everyone sat around the fire pit for a little while Jessica decided she wanted to go see if she could catch anything. She's like, hey, we said we were going fishing. Let's go, right? And apparently Isaac and Robert had already been fishing a little bit that day, okay? And they found a good spot where they'd caught quite a few fish. So she's like, well, I want to go down there. So she grabbed a fishing pole and worms and asked little man if he wanted to take a nap. He said that he was tired. So she asked Robert if he would watch him, Grandpa Rob. And Vernal and Jessica then started walking towards the lake with Isaac so he could show them where to go. So now Isaac's on the trip too. See?
Okay.
So now we got Isaac in her version.
I'm sorry, how is this kid tired? You just fed him fucking candy and donut holes and then we're like, all right, go take a nap.
Yeah, because they just wanted to go fishing, I guess. But when they noticed little man was following, they asked him, they said, do you want to go with us or do you want to stay with Grandpa Rob? And allegedly, he turned back around and went back towards Grandpa Rob in the campsite. The trio then resumed walking to the fishing area. So Isaac showed them to the creek where he caught all the fish, and then he went back to the campsite. Still Jessica's version, okay? Remember this. Vernal and Jessica started walking around the creek to see if they could find any fish in the water, and then Jessica noticed their dog Missy was following them. Yeah, Andy, their dog's there.
There's a dog here?
There's a frickin' dog there.
All right.
Yeah, let's add a dog to the story.
Brand, okay.
Yeah,
Did it follow you here?
There's a dog now. Yeah. I was thrown for a loop at this. So you guys, you're not alone. There's a dog here. Never mentioned it before. Jessica and DeOrr continued walking along the creek, and she looked back towards the campsite where she could see Robert in his chair. But she said that she actually couldn't see Little Man at the time, but she figured that he was just playing nearby. So they moved along the river area when Vernal noticed that there was an area that had some minnows in it, like we talked about earlier, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, Goobs would love to see this. So he goes back to the campsite to see him. So Jessica put down the worms and started to fish. Vernal was talking to someone back at the campsite, but Jessica couldn't really hear what it was about or who it was to, so she assumed Vernal was just talking to Little Man or something. But then she noticed Isaac had come back. Isaac had come back to fish with her, and while fishing, she hears Vernal say, Goobs is gone. We can't find him. Okay? So notice, right after Isaac comes back, that's when she says she hears that Goobs is gone.
Mm-hmm. And again, this has been minutes. Like this hasn't. This has not been like an hour or two. This has been minutes.
Yep. So Jessica threw down her fishing pole and ran back to the campsite and started yelling. She asked where he was last seen, which was next to a tree playing with his boots. Jessica started freaking out, and she and Vernal decided they needed to call 911. So, while searching, Jessica took Little Man's blankie and pushed it to Missy the dog's nose and tried to get her to track down the scent. Missy took off towards the creek, and then she ran around the campsite and then close to the road. I don't think she knew what she was doing.
Missy is a goddamn Pomeranian who you just threw a blanket at, and now she's just chasing a goddamn bumblebee.
But it didn't help, they were checking everywhere. But meanwhile, Vernon was off trying to get service on his phone by driving up the road in the truck. So after the dog situation didn't work, Vernal came back to the campsite, and since no one had found Little Man yet, he decided it was time they actually called 911. Because no one had at that point still, apparently.
Again, how is no one?
According to Jessica, no one had at this point. So Vernal leaves to make a call to 911. Again, I guess. At the same time, Jessica tried calling her mom, and it took her 5 calls just to try and get enough service to tell her what was wrong. Jessica finally got through and told her mom, Trina, what was happening, but was so hysterical it was hard to understand. Trina told Jessica to call 911, and so Jessica does. And Vernal also placed a call to 911 at the same time. And this is proof. There is recordings of both of these calls.
Yeah.
They did both call. Now, after the phone call, Jessica empties her pockets into the seat of the truck, and then weirdly enough, she marks out whatever she wrote after that. There's like a couple lines that is just scratched out. She just completely marked through the words. So, and then she goes on to say...
she was describing what was in her pockets. She was like, I pulled out my nail file, my lighter, 2 joints, three things of this.
Oh, wait, no.
There's no eraser. Fuck. I just gotta write it out. Let's just chicken scratch this.
Right. But no. But she gets out to start searching again, and she sees Isaac. He asked what's wrong, and she told him, and she says he seemed not to care, and he just walked back to the campsite. Jessica was upset that he didn't seem to care, but she was like, I don't got time for him. I got to continue searching, right?
This random 25 to 35-year-old simple man, as you described, doesn't care that your kid is missing. I'm surprised. I'm not even remotely surprised. Right. Just him walking by, it's like, not my kid.
I didn't see him. Right.
See him? No.
Right.
Just keeps walking. I'm going to go fish.
Yeah, maybe. A man named Ray came up on an ATV, she said, and was speaking with Vernal about where they last saw Little Man. And then finally, the rest of the police and search rescue team showed up. So that was Jessica's 14-page written summary in a nutshell. It was extremely overly detailed, even more than that.
Yeah, she was
ridiculous. Yeah.
Not to get anything left out.
Yeah, exactly. So next we'll go through Vernal's, okay? It was much shorter, Andy, so don't worry. But it did have its contradictions.
All right.
So he says on July 10th, he woke up in the Suburban with Jessica and his son. Vernal woke up last, he says, around 8 a.m. Everyone else was already up and out at the fireplace. Vernal offered to make breakfast and have Jessica watch baby DeOrr. So apparently Vernal's making breakfast in this version.
Somebody better be making goddamn breakfast.
No, somebody's making breakfast.
Isaac wants breakfast.
Vernal says that Jessica was not noticing that DeOrr was running around. So while he was cooking breakfast, he says he had to tell Jessica multiple times, make sure you keep an eye on him. He's running around the fire. Okay. So everyone ate breakfast, and baby DeOrr was playing with the dog Missy. Here's Missy again. And Jessica told Vernal that she needed to go into town for tampons. So they decided to go into town to get a Rockstar energy drink, candy, and the tampons. Vernal decides he also needs to fuel up his truck along the way, too. Vernal says Jessica strapped baby DeOrr into the vehicle, and off they went.
Man, I don't know anything about these people besides what we've done so far, but right here, man, Vernal, you got to sound like the most just like bro white trash guy I've heard in a long time. Babe, I need to go into town for some tampons. Fine. I'm going to grab me a Rockstar while we're in there. Let's hop in the new diesel truck, babe. I don't think the fuel gauge is working, though, so I think we'll make it in there on prayers.
Right. But Bob told him, be back around 11 so they can go fishing. Not 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Bob's ready to go. Like I said, Bob didn't have much time.
You know what, though? This would make sense because when they got back at 1:10...
Yeah.
Bob and Isaac had already been fishing.
Yeah, for hours.
They're like, yeah, we caught tons of fish. So it would actually make sense that Bob did say to be back around 1 and back around 11 and not 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But, that's not that important, I don't think. But Vernal says the nearest town was Ledor, which was 8 miles, but because you had to go so slow, I guess, it's 45 minutes away.
Oh, I've been in areas like that before.
Yeah. So while heading into town, Vernal says he wanted to top off the truck and by going to the gas station. He saw a sign that said they had diesel, but it was card only. He said that he only had cash. Well, the clerk told him that if you want to pay with cash, you got to go to the hotel, right? We've been over this. You got to go to the hotel. This part is the same.
I only have my card reader over here. I have the actual cash register over
there.
I mean, they have a cash register.
It's not me. It's somebody else. It's a totally different person.
It's my mustache twin brother.
So when Vernal got to the lobby, they told him they were out of diesel. But that Peterson machine had diesel, right, Andy? Old Peterson machine. So they gave him directions. So they went and got the diesel. And then they headed back to the stage stop to get the monster, of course.
Right.
Got to get the Rockstar.
Got to get the Rockstar.
And also to get Jessica's things. And while at the gas station, baby DeOrr picked out some Swedish fish. Vernal grabbed the Rockstar, and he also got potato wedges and donut holes. So all that stuff is the same, right? Mm-hmm. And then Vernal describes how he chatted to a few men in the gas station, and he described everyone in detail, too. I'm not going to go through that. It's not important. But just the fact that he went that extra mile to do that, right?
Okay.
He's paying attention. What does that mean, right? You have to weigh that. Then Jessica heads off to the bathroom while Vernal says he put little man in the truck. Now, if you remember, I'll help you. In Jessica's little story, she says she put little man in the truck after getting back from the bathroom.
Because that guy was creeping her out, so she wanted to put him in the truck herself.
Yes. But Vernal says he put him in the truck, put him in the car seat, gave him some donut holes and potato wedges, and then waited for Jessica to come out.
Yeah, that's much more of a dad meal. I'm going to go ahead and throw that one out there.
Yeah, I know,
it's
right?
It's just much more of a dad meal of just, especially this dad who just popped his fresh Rockstar. Just like, you hungry, little man? I got some donut holes and potato wedges. I know you're 2, but yeah, you can't have a cigarette, so here you go.
But while driving back to camp, Goob, which is what he wrote in there, asked for his Swedish fish. So Jessica opened the candy and gave it to him. Isaac and Bob were returning to the campsite and were telling stories of all the fish they caught. And they said that there were other fishers there as well. Jessica wanted to go fishing. Isaac pulled out a bag with about 7 fish in it and showed her the ones he caught, and then they went fishing. That's his statement.
He's just like, and
he gets a little sidetracked at the end. It's like he's so detail-oriented at the beginning, in the middle, and then it's like, once they get back, he's like, oh, yeah, she wanted to go fishing, and they went fishing.
And I could
it's
get
like,
that it's
what
harder.
about when DeOrr went missing and like you called 911 and all that?
And I could understand saying that that's when all the shock happens and he's panicking so much that he doesn't remember as clearly what happens at that point if he's really in shock.
Right.
Because it's like, yeah, it's like you can remember a lot more clearly up until the moment of like everything starts going shit.
Exactly.
And then it's just a fucking blur of, I think this happened then, and this happened, but maybe first, or...
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, these small discrepancies, but who buckles them in is kind of important.
Yeah.
It is, just because of the window of the disappearance, which we'll talk about. So the major problems with these two testimonies so far is who the hell cooked breakfast, okay? Who put them in the car seat at the gas station,
Yep.
okay? And then who was watching baby DeOrr when they got back to the campsite.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the first time we hear about other fishermen down there at the creek, too.
Well, luckily, we also, yes, that's true. And luckily, we also have multiple interviews that Jessica and Vernal did. And so we have all kinds of different versions.
Oh.
So let's go over some more. Jessica tells another story about that first night. In this version, she says Isaac did not actually go right to bed that night. Because initially she said everybody kind of went to bed when they got there because they were tired and it was dark, right? But she said he instead was being weird, playing with a knife near the fire and making comments about how they shouldn't have brought a child on a camping trip.
Again, this just seems like, again, I don't know this man. He's 25 to 35, hanging out with somebody's grandpa, going camping and hunting, fishing with them. Not his grandpa, but that's a different relationship.
Yeah.
And then he's just being like, you brought your fucking 2-year-old? I thought this was like, we were going fishing, man. I didn't.
Yeah.
Now I got to listen to this, bitch. Jesus. Just.
Right. Yeah, maybe he was kind of like that.
Yeah, like, why'd you bring your fucking
Who
kid?
knows? But during the taped interviews, Grandpa Rob is heard saying, I better shut up before I get in trouble here. And I bet all of our stories are different.
Oh, Bob.
Yikes.
Bob's saying the quiet part out loud.
Indeed. Supposedly, Isaac and Trina also refused to help search. They, for whatever reason. And Isaac didn't even wake up until noon that day. So he really wouldn't know much about the situation, right? So this is from Isaac as well, but this is not entirely true. Isaac did wake up at noon that day, but that was after he woke up early and said and I don't know if he said eggs and bakey or whatever.
Yeah.
But even in his own testimony, he says he was the first one up the next morning. Mm-hmm. He said he went for a walk. He said he used the bathroom, and then he went back to bed.
Yep.
Okay. So he did not sleep till 12. Mm-hmm. Not initially.
Yeah, he was up at first.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I do love how it's like he refused to search. Again, I just imagine this guy being like, it's not my kid. I'm going to fish. I came here to fish.
He just refuses to care.
So I have a thing. All right, you tell me if you need me.
Well, I think if you see some of the interviews, some of it makes a little more sense.
I'm sure there is, but just
check out some of the sources and whatnot. But also another fun fact about this case is that none of them could pass a polygraph test. Not that it really holds a lot of weight. It's just like they all basically only got their name correct. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything else is sketch.
This is like an SAT mirror. What the hell?
Yeah. And also, the hotel that they talk about in their story is called Clover Creek Motel. And that hotel isn't even in Leadore. It's in another town over.
Okay.
So, also a weird little discrepancy. But they might just not know. I mean, they're not from here.
Yeah.
They don't know this place. Just because they not know where the town line is.
Exactly. You can tell how small of a town this is. Even just the bare fact that, like, to get the diesel fuel, they didn't go to a gas station. They went to a machine shop, like a welding and machine shop. And, like, just the fact that this town is so small, it's like, oh yeah, go on down to Peterson's Welding. I'll give them a call. They got a tank out back. I bet he can just fill you up.
Yeah.
I'd probably charge you about this much or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a good dude. He'll take care of you.
Take care.
It's just like, you went to a machine shop to fill your car up. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, it is. It's all kind of weird. Another time Jessica tells the story, she talks about, she says that Vernal is with her walking along the creek. But other times she says that Vernal was back at the truck with baby DeOrr while she was walking and fishing. Now this was in an audio recorded interview. Okay, where she went back and forth about this. And then other people, like people they ran into at the gas stations, the hotel, they mentioned seeing the car seat in the car, but they do not remember seeing a child in the car seat.
And I remember they only had to ask one guy. He was there at every store they went to. They just had to
He
ask.
saw them over and over again.
He was like, I was very sure.
I believe that guy.
We all believe Peter. He was at every one of them.
But yeah, apparently all the people that Vernal talked to in the gas station, police went back and followed up, and they're like, yeah, we didn't see a kid or a dog, for that matter.
Or a dog. What?
Yeah. Then there was another time, there was a recording of Jessica saying that she saw Isaac with a shovel with blonde hair on it, but she never got to give it to investigators.
The shovel?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
How you gonna miss that?
I don't know. Just, it slips your mind, dude.
You
just forget. Now the shovel's gone. Goodbye.
A shovel with blonde hair on it? All right.
Definitely not weird at all.
He's just walking by with that over his shoulder.
Right. Now, a family friend, Frank Vilt, he's a former U.S. Marshal turned private investigator. He offered to do it all pro bono because he thought at first this was an abduction case. He's like, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Right?
It seems that's the most plausible explanation.
Frank even offered $20,000 of his own money to help find little DeOrr, but the family turned it down.
Okay.
He was like, that's a little sketchy. And he publicly wrote a letter saying that he did not trust them, and he thinks that the family gave DeOrr up for something like an illegal adoption.
Ooh.
This is not a crazy possibility either. I don't hate this theory. We'll
Okay.
talk about it. In 2016, the cops officially declared DeOrr Jr.'s parents as suspects. Lemhi County Sheriff Lynn Bowerman said, the mom and dad are being less than truthful, and every time there are some changes to a part of their story. So after that, another private investigator came into the case. His name was Philip Klein from Klein Investigations and Consulting. This guy is still working on it.
Okay. This guy's not giving
He's
up.
come back and forth. No, he's quit, and he's come back, and he's quit, and he's like, well, wait a second.
Can't let it go.
So now remember back to the 911 phone call. During it, at one point, you can hear in the background another operator answers a phone, and it sounds similar. So the operator asks if Jessica's husband is also calling about their missing child, but the question never gets answered. Philip, the private investigator, he says that there were 3 separate phone calls to 911 that were made. One from Jessica, one from Vernal, and one from Bob.
Okay, and they never heard about Bob making a phone call so
No,
far.
and Bob's, I don't know if Bob's has been released. I know for years, Jessica was the only 911 call you could find. Vernal and Bob's were nowhere to be found, but I think Vernal's is online now.
Okay.
Yeah. So now this...
Bob's is just a rant of him yelling at the 911 operator.
Right.
Bob, this is not useful.
No. Now this private investigator and company only stayed on the case for about 7 days initially. The reason they stopped was also because they seemed to find the entire situation very sketchy. They found out over time the stories were just off, and no one could verify, and nothing matched. Something as simple as, no one at the gas station remembers a child or a dog. It turns into kind of a big thing.
Yeah, and even if it was like an ugly baby that could have been mistaken for a dog. I mean,
Yeah,
you can't even have one or the other.
There was nothing alive back there. But later, the firm said they investigated leftover furniture, clothing, and items that were left in an apartment that the couple was evicted from for not paying rent. Why would they leave anything behind? Look, the search revealed a few things, like 4 toy cars, which were specifically described as missing from Jessica at the campsite. Also, a camo jacket. Now, the boy could have had more than one camo jacket.
I feel like this is a boy who has more than one camo
I think
jacket.
he has more than one camo jacket. We're not going to...
This rock star drinking dad in his diesel truck. I think this kid's got more than one camo jacket.
But he was said to be wearing a camo jacket the day he went missing, okay?
Why would he have 4 cars on him? You knew that he had 4 toy cars on when he went missing?
Also, he could have had a ton of freaking Hot Wheels, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
How do you know exactly which cars he had? That's just one of those things as a parent of a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
When they got like Matchbox cars or Hot Wheels and stuff like that, it's like, as a parent, you don't remember which all of the cars they have. You might know their favorite one if they have a favorite one,
right?
But you don't remember. It's like, okay, so he had the Dodge Challenger with him. He had the red Ford Mustang. He had the Viper GT, and I think did he have the Lambo? No, he had the Ferrari. He had the it's like.
Yep.
As a mom, as a parent, you're not remembering that shit on a camping trip to an extent. Like, you just know it's like, did he get some toys? Yeah, he got some toys. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just one of those weird little details.
It is. So here is a statement from the second private investigator, the Klein investigating, okay? And they gave this formal notice to Steve Paneer, who was the county sheriff, the Lemhi County sheriff at the time. They said that they would be withdrawing from the DeOrr Kunz case effective immediately. I would like to make the reasons for withdrawal very clear for the media and the general public. We believe that KIC Texas, that's the name of their group, can no longer move forward on this case. It is our firm belief that until truthfulness comes from the persons that we, as well as law enforcement, have named as suspects, there is nothing further to investigate. All evidence leads to the death of DeOrr Kunz Jr. We do not believe that kidnapping or an animal attack occurred, and all evidence supports this finding. We believe charges should be filed on the parents for child endangerment at a minimum. We publicly asked the district attorney of Lemhi County to strongly consider this charge. We have recently become aware that Vernal DeOrr Kunz and his father, Dennis Kunz, have filed another lawsuit against our firm. This suit, as well as the misinformation campaign by certain social media trolls, appears to be a coordinated effort to impede the investigation. We are unable to continue our efforts in this case, while simultaneously defending against a suit of this nature. As we have said, the truth is the ultimate defense. We would like to publicly thank the citizens of Idaho for their open hearts and minds. We thank the businesses that offered us food, shelter, and warm wishes. We thank the family members of baby DeOrr who have pure and clean hearts and have helped us understand the parents' dysfunctional family dynamic. We would also like to thank the many who we have interviewed. You are in great hands with Lemhi County Sheriff Penner of and Bonneville County Sheriff and the FBI. We believe DeOrr Kunz Jr. will be found one day.
Well, at least I believe it too. It's also the same thing. It's like the family is bringing a lawsuit, or the parent, like the dad and his dad, are bringing a lawsuit against the private investigating firm that is trying to help find their son.
Well, they're also trying to get them arrested for child endangerment too. So I think that's more of what it's like. Whoa! It's like, I get you're pulling out, but you're throwing us under the bus too at the same time. You see what I mean? I think that's why the dad and his father went after that group in particular. But like I said, that Klein group, as of this video I watched, it was uploaded 3 weeks ago. They're still searching. And it's 10 years later, but they think they may have a good lead. Now, the Klein group, they believe that the parents are still responsible. Now, whether they killed the child on accident or on purpose, that remains to be found. But he believes that they're definitely being dishonest.
Oh, yeah.
Because of how much their story has changed. Now, the other person that everyone turns the light on is Isaac, right? There's another PI, the first PI that was on the case, who was also a friend of the family. Let that be known.
Yeah, the one who did this pro bono.
He thinks it's Isaac. His reasoning is 2 people disappeared at the same time. Isaac was gone, and little DeOrr was gone. Everyone else was accounted for. He said no one knows where Isaac was when he went right before he rejoined Jessica down fishing.
Okay.
Right? So he thinks that he has something to do with it.
But at the same time, it's like, where would he have taken him in that short window of time and no one be able to hear, see, know? The only thing I can think of horribly would be to have somehow he killed him quickly and threw him in the river. But then you would think they would be able to find that body. Like,
that's
right. You would think the dog, because they brought cadaver dogs, they brought search and rescue dogs down there. You would think they'd be able to track
helicopters
it's like
riding up and down,
be able to track that
down
scent
this river.
right to wherever he took him.
Yeah.
But it's like, if none of these dogs can track a scent, if no one can find any DNA on him or any kind of traces of like any sort of blood or anything on
that reminds
Isaac,
me. That reminds me.
And this shovel that he had apparently with blonde hair.
I don't put a lot of weight in that.
Yeah,
I don't put a lot of weight in that. But now, remember, I talked about it earlier that there was an area where a cadaver dog had found someone.
Found
right?
something.
Found something.
Yeah.
Was that on the show or was that before
I think it was
the show?
beforehand, but yes.
Oh, so when they took the cadaver dogs out, one of the dogs stopped in an area and basically gave his signal that this is where a body was.
Yes.
Or maybe where someone was killed and the body was left for a little while. Mm-hmm. Or whatever. So they know something happened in this certain area. And I don't know where it is exactly, but somewhere in Isaac's testimony, this original PI, he says that Isaac puts himself in that place. And his testimony has never changed. His testimony has always been the same.
That's one of the things. Like, to me, Isaac seems like one of the people who's just like, I don't care. I was here to fish. Like, this is what I did. Here's where I woke up. I went and took a shit over there. Went back to bed. Nobody made breakfast, even though I was hungry. And then I went back, got some more fish.
Yeah, it's odd that his story has been the same, and then the parents has shifted, right? And then there's the major discrepancies in the story as well.
Yeah,
and it's like, and also this the Klein investigation group that's working on it now. I watched a recent, like I said, the recent interview with Philip himself. He was talking about how there was a cooler missing from the crime scene. Actually, I have it right here. Let me just go ahead and play it for you guys. Check this out.
Here's what we believe based upon the evidence at this point. If you remember, the evidence stopped where the dog found the area that it hit on. We believe that was a holding area. So what we believe is the night before there was an accident. Again, I'll say it to you again, Nate, and I've said it 100 times to you. I don't believe at all that this was an intentional homicide. I just don't. I believe that there was an accident up there with the truck rolling over the child. I believe that the blue cooler that's still missing even today was used to dispose of DeOrr's body. We believe it was taken down to the hill at the time of the 911 call during that time period, or maybe a little bit earlier than that, or maybe even it was done when they went down to go get the Swedish fish and all the other big story they put out over at the convenience store. And we believe the cooler was put into a dumpster. That dumpster was put into a dumpster truck, and that truck went over to a landfill, and it was dumped. So what we're in the process of doing now is the process of elimination. As you know, what that'll entail, we'll have to bring in some track hose. We'll have to dig out the area to either prove what our evidence shows is true or to disprove what our evidence shows. I still believe that the parents are suspects with information. That is what we believe based upon evidence. We have been very silent about our work up there, simply because it was so acrimonious up there. Everybody had an idea, everybody had a theory, but the bottom line is something happened up on top of that mountain on that day or the evening before when they first got there.
Yeah, it's just like the notion that, like, if all four of these people were there and if that was what happened, are they all trying to line their stories up? Are they all trying to protect somebody?
No, I don't think they did at all. See, that's what would lead to maybe it was an accident. You know, maybe something happened to little DeOrr and the parents covered it up without the other two even knowing.
Maybe that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. It's like, did something happen with just the parents and then they covered it up, and but Grandpa Bob doesn't even know.
The reason I lean to if the parents are guilty of this, it's an accident, is because just watching their interviews, man, even their ones 10 years later, the father is still tearing up, and it just don't sound fake. It don't look fake. You know what I mean? Men don't like to cry when they don't have to, especially not on damn live TV.
Yeah.
And it just didn't seem fake. Like, he cried in this part of this interview where the reporter he said, okay, if there's anything you'd like to say to your son, you can look into the camera and say that now, because he'd be 12 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe he's out there. You don't ever know. Maybe, And he looks into the camera, and as he starts to talk to him and say his name, you can literally hear his voice shaking and breaking up.
Yeah. And I believe that.
Yeah. I mean, and the mother, Jessica, she's crying. She's not crying, but she's like, this is 10 years later, and they're still shook up about this. Not saying that I wouldn't be. It's just, you got to think, they're not together anymore, by the way. They split up just months after all this. After being evicted,
Yeah.
they split up. They went their separate ways. Jessica remarried in less than 6 months, and Vernal dipped out and ended up marrying somebody in another state.
All right.
But I mean, can you blame them for wanting to leave this life? I mean, everyone thinks they killed their kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it hasn't been proven. So it's like you're still in the free world, and everyone's treating you like you killed your child. You're treating you like fucking Casey Anthony, dude. It's like people are like, why did they uproot? That's very suspicious. Probably because their whole fucking town hated them.
But it just makes it almost looks to the outside people, it looks like people being like, did you give up that quickly because you know he's dead? It's like, did you just, break up and move on and go start your other lives because it's like that.
Or is that what you're planning the whole time? Maybe they were like, we made a mistake. We don't belong together again.
Yeah.
And now we've had this child.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Maybe Jessica didn't want kids.
She already had to.
She and she doesn't have them. Mm-hmm. She says they had a better life with their father. And I mean, you're getting evicted from your apartment. So yeah, I would say they have more stable life with him.
And then as I said, just getting broken up, getting evicted a few months later, breaking up, and then getting married less than 6 months after that. And both of you guys just moving on and going different lives pretty soon after, relatively soon after your 2-year-old disappearing.
Yeah.
Not finding his body, not finding, anything, just
I see what you're saying.
It's like, it's almost like, it seems like that sense of did you guys just give up and just, all right, well, he's not coming back. It's like, well, how do you know? It's like, it's one of those things I could see where people would throw up red flags of being like, are you guys just giving up? Because,
or maybe they just couldn't bear the heartbreak together. A lot of parents split up, when kids go missing, I can't remember if Johnny Gosh's parents, but I'm pretty sure he was one of them. When he went missing, his parents just fought all the time after that. They were just, they were always in the dumps. They were always depressed. So any little thing would set them off, and they were like, we just couldn't live together anymore. We reminded each other of him. We just couldn't.
Yeah.
And they split up. But like you said, though, so soon within a 6-month window, to already be remarried, and who's to say she didn't find love, again. But I don't know, man. It's a weird. I wanted to put a pin in that illegal adoption thing.
Yeah.
Because the little trip was very spontaneous, right?
Yeah, it
was
like
in
it was
a really
pretty
weird place. It's like you guys live in the freaking Midwest. There's nowhere closer to camp. Y'all had to go 2.5 hours. You had to go that far away, and then also you went with a group of people that you wouldn't normally go with, which was kind of strange. And then, what if they planned all this to meet somebody and when they went to that gas station, right? Mm-hmm. That is when the parents, on their way there, met. They met whoever it was, sold him.
Yep.
And then went on to the damn gas station to get their diesel, to get their tampons and all that shit. And then the kid, he wouldn't be with them.
Yep.
And there you go. And they got money. They are in very dire straits for cash. I'm not saying, oh my God, it's a horrible, very good thing. If they ever listen to this, I'm so sorry. I'm totally just spitballing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying you did this. I'm just saying it's possible.
Yeah. It is a possibility.
Absolutely possible. Mm-hmm. They could have, and it would have been, and if she already gave up 2 kids pretty easily. Now, whether you think they're living a better life or not, God, giving up your kids. Mm-hmm. Giving up all rights, all visitation, Andy. Just imagine that.
Yeah, no, I don't. But
I don't give a fuck if you're a billionaire. You're not keeping my kids all the time. I don't fucking care.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care how stable you are.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah, I don't care how unstable I am. I'm coming to see them. You know what I mean? I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But different strokes for different folks, and it's not a crime to not want to raise your kids as long as they're being raised by somebody.
Yeah.
Right? It's not. But I don't know, man. It's a lot to think about. The illegal adoption thing kind of makes sense. Also, maybe they just got rid of them on the trip, and just we'll find out once that landfill is searched. We'll be following this.
Yeah, there's got to be, because like we talked about, it's like there's the window of time in which he disappeared. It's like nobody could have taken him very far.
No
one could have gotten out of there with a 2-year-old, kicking and screaming. No one could have, disappeared that quickly without, Grandpa Bob sitting right there.
Oh, I know.
That's when he's left. If he's left within, earshot of his grandpa, no one's coming up there and taking a 2-year-old and running off with him and no one noticing.
I don't think so, Andy.
So
there's one moment where he had to go, and it had to be right there before they went to the store, or on the way to the store.
Yep.
It's just, why would all those people say that there was no kid or dog, and you're sitting here putting the kid and the dog in all these stories and getting them out and talking to people, and some weird guy's looking at them.
Yep. Trying to put some
Like,
creepy guy at the gas station.
Yeah. And then she goes back and adds the shit about Isaac with the knife, right? Mm-hmm. See what I mean? All this stuff was added, Andy. It wasn't in the initial thing. All these red herrings, is what I'm calling them, because, come on, you really didn't think they were a possibility, or you would have said them in the initial report. Mm-hmm. Don't you want to get this information across ASAP?
Yeah. It's like you tell the cops, there was a creepy guy at the gas station staring at us. It's like, all right, well, we know when you were there. We'll go look at the CCTV footage. We'll ask the clerk who was at the gas station. Right. It's a small fucking town. They
probably
will know.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's Ralph. He goes over there.
Yeah, exactly. Go ask him. Or I'll be like, yeah, I wasn't no kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was just looking at that diesel truck.
Okay.
I don't know where you can get diesel around here. Not at the hotel.
But one more discrepancy. Let's add this to it, right? This is what makes me just keep being undecided, is that in Isaac's testimony, right, the one that has never changed, he says that little DeOrr comes back from the store with them, and he's there. He says that.
Yeah.
In every single one. The reporters will even they'll be like, so DeOrr arrived with the parents when they came back. He's like, yeah, he was there. They're like, you 100% sure he was. He's like, yeah, he was at the campsite.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's just the.
But they could have paid him off. There. They just sold their kid.
Maybe, yeah.
No, seriously,
money.
Andy.
Yeah, how much money you got to give Isaac at that point?
And then one of the private investigators, it was the one that knew the family. Okay, he said this, and this is just from him. I didn't find it anywhere else. He said that Grandpa Bob said, I don't know what all the fuss is about. He's just a 2-year-old. They could make another one. Right.
Like I said, Bob, all right.
So that's what I wanted to do with that, is just let you know that no one looks good in this story.
No.
Everyone
family
everyone is in a shadow here. And we're no closer to the truth.
Not until they start digging up that landfill, hopefully.
Yeah, they need to get on that, dude. We got to follow that, Andy. Maybe we'll put an update in the headlines or something.
Oh yeah, if there's one to be had, then we'll find it.
We'll keep an eye on it. But that's it for now. I hope you guys are as confused as I am.
Right? There has got to be an answer in here somewhere. You have a very small window for a 2-year-old to disappear.
Very small window, guys. And this is one of them unsolved cases that it sticks with you, right? It really does. This one's going to stick with me for a minute. There's a lot to think about here. I hope we did this case justice. I hope it was easy enough to understand.
Yeah.
And like I said, if I missed something, send us a comment. You can hit us up on social media at True Crime Guys, whatever. If I got some outdated information, I'm curious. Because as far as I can tell, this case has been reopened, and there's still, it's kind of going to be revived soon, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. I think there's going to be some new life in it, at least.
No doubt. But for now, you can put some new life in your deodorant.
Put some new life in your pits.
In your pits. With Oh My Gaia, an innovative all-natural deodorant, fragrance, and beard oil company specializing in paraben and aluminum-free products. Their innovative line of deodorants inhibit the growth of odor-causing bacteria while still maintaining effectiveness. And there's tons of scents to choose from at ohmygaia.com, like vanilla, cherry almond, sandalwood, lavender, lemongrass, Egyptian musk, coconut, dreamsicle, leather, lumberjack, honeysuckle, fireside, bergamot, amber, pear, sweet pea, sailor, barbershop, and so many more, like True Crime Pine.
True Crime Pine.
Can't forget about True Crime Pine. And speaking of Crime Pine, that's the keyword to get 15% off your order. Crime Pine, no space, CRIMEPINE, for 15% off your order at ohmygaia.com. That's OHMYGAIA.com. You guys will not regret it. It's amazing natural deodorant, as well as scented oils and beard oils, guys. It's almost fall. It's almost fall. North Carolina thinks it is, but it's not. You're not fooling me.
Not yet.
I am growing my beard a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Why not? Get a head start.
Gotta get mine trimmed up. Getting a little bushy.
Yeah. Trim that thing up, Andy. You're going to be all on the mic by next week. But guys, thank you so much. Don't forget patreon.com/truecrimeguys. It's a great way to get access to tons of bonus content all the way back to when Lauren was on the show. Remember old Lauren? I wonder how Lauren's doing. I need to hit him up. I need to see how he's doing. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a review. Give us a follow on social media at True Crime Guys. Listen to some of our music on Spotify, under the artist True Crime Guys, obviously. And if you got a case suggestion, send us an email at truecrimeguys@gmail.com. All right. I think that's pretty much it. What do you think, Andy?
I think we did a pretty good job there, Michael. I think it's time to call it a night.
One of the longest episodes we've had in a minute.
In a bit.
All right,
bonus
guys.
content.
Right? This might work for 2 weeks. No, I'm just kidding, guys. We'll see you next week. Keep on creeping.
Bye.